I'm Pamela from Pamela's Postings. Welcome to Featherweight Skill Series. Today we're going to be going over the basics of the ruffler. So here I have it attached to my machine. As you can see, this is called the fork arm. It is going around the needle screw so that it'll make the unit work. Right here we have something called the adjusting lever. It's got numbers on it. If you have it set on the number 1, it's going to make a pleat on every stitch. If you raise it and move it over to number 6, it'll make a pleat on every 6th stitch. If you move it over to 12, it'll make a pleat on every 12th stitch. And if you pick it up and move it over to the star, it makes the unit not do anything. So it's not going to make any pleats if it's on the star. So I'm going to put it on number 1 so that it can demonstrate well. Over here, I'm going to show you the other side. Okay, now on the other side we have a very small hole for where the needle gets through. We have on the bottom, on the very bottom of the attachment, there's something called the Separator Blade. So if you have anything going underneath the separator blade, it's not going to be pleated. Then above the separator blade, we have something called the ruffling blade, and that's what pushes the fabric in so that it can be pleated and stitched. And then this back here is called the separator guide. And then this screw, which is on the top here, is called the adjusting screw, which moves a finger that causes the unit to change how much of a depth the pleat stitches down. So I'm going to go ahead and load it. I have my fabric here. I'm going to put it inside it almost looks like a backward S on the separator guide. I'm going to go ahead and weave it into that second fork area. So there's the first fork area, it's like a U shape, and then going the other way, the other U shape, I'm going to weave it into that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just push it back into the needle areas. I want the fabric to be in place so that when I start stitching, it's going to be catching and not trying to pull the fabric. It's already in place. My stitch length is a 7. It's quite long because I really want to have not so many stitches going in. I want the unit to put in the ruffles as, and I can control how much of a depth I have with this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. Okay, so there's a little bit. So you can see it's making quite a lot of pleats, and it's making a really nice looking ruffle. Now, what if I don't want it quite that thick of a ruffle? I want it to be a little less dense. I'm just going to go ahead and unscrew the adjusting screw. A few turns, and I'm going to try that. Now, as you can see, because I have it woven into the separator guide, it's keeping my fabric in line. And now we can see that there's less of a fullness of my ruffle. It has gone down, and I kind of like that, but I want it a little thicker. And you know what? I think I want it every 6th stitch. I want to see what that looks like. So I went ahead and changed that setting, and a pleat. So that is making it more of just a nice little pleated effect. I think I want that to be fuller, so I'm going to pull it all the way down and see what that does. Okay, now I can go ahead and get my piece out of here and see what I have. Okay, so here it is with every 6th pleat all the way, with the adjusting screw all the way down, and I really like that. That's very pretty. Here's where the adjusting screw was only about halfway down. You can see how much less of a pleat that gave. Here's where it was doing it in every stitch with the adjusting screw halfway down. And here's where the adjusting screw is all the way down. So you can really see a lot of variety. You have a lot of options, and I didn't even do it every 12th stitch. But even think about it, if you raise your, if you go ahead and you raise the stitch length, it's going to make your pleats even more full. So you have a lot of experimenting to do, a lot of things in order to, you know, some test strips to make, a lot of options in this unit. It's a really great unit. I hope that you pull yours out and start trying it. And if you do, go ahead and get on our Facebook group page, Featherweight Skill Series, and share your pictures. And we'd love to hear from you. I could go and see all of my posts and videos on my blog, pamelinsPostings.blogspot.com. Thank you for watching. Bye.